Can you crack XAT in 15 days is a very big question you have in your head, and the simple answer to that is yes. And I can say this to you because 9 years back when I was an MBA aspirant, in my very first attempt at CAT, I had scored a 84 percentile, but just 4 weeks after that, with only that level of preparation, because I had almost felt that, okay, now it's not going to happen for me. With the same level of preparation, I went into XAT and scored a 98.25 percentile in XAT, leading me to an XLRI call. The point which I'm trying to make, what I will also be sharing with you in this video, is that if you were to follow a very simple, straightforward, strategic 15-day plan, even 15 days are enough for you to go from whatever percentile you're scoring in CAT to a good, decent percentile in XAT, so that you can unlock good B schools in XAT for you. If you don't know me yet, I'm Darpan Saxena, an MBA graduate from Udaipur. I have been the MBA Product Head at Career Launcher. I'm the founder of Creatum, and I help MBA students create fulfilling careers without depending on placements. The point of this video is very simple. This is going to be the only video you need to watch to know what should you do in 15 days. Towards the end of it, in this part, I will be giving you what should be your 15-day plan. The beauty of this plan, which I will be sharing with you, is that while this is a very general, generic plan, I will also tell you how to adapt it to your circumstances. हो सकता है you are good in quant. How do you adapt the same plan to somebody who's great in quant? You could be somebody who's good in VARC, verbal. How do you adapt it as per that? It covers how many mocks you need to take, what you need to do. So stay tuned for this. I will begin with a very simple yet a very important thing, because we need to start addressing the paper structure. That is important. And then a very important part of it, syllabus, which most others don't speak about. See, we know this. The paper comes in two parts. Part one is your VALR 26 questions, DM 21 questions, and QADI quant and data interpretation 28 questions. This combined is 75 questions. Part 2 is 20 questions of general knowledge, which is not used to calculate your percentile. You know this already. Total questions, which means 95 questions, 75 plus 20. The total time you have is 170 minutes plus 10 minutes. So basically, for the 75 questions, the part 1 of the paper, you have 170 minutes. Now, this is where your strategy should start to operate. Probably CAT se zyada samay hai for me to solve more questions in this. But let's not speak about the attempt strategy. Also, if you want me to make a video on attempt strategy of XAT, let me know in the comments, because that is altogether a different video. I'll not be talking about attempt strategy in this video. This is only the preparation plan. Coming back to this. Marking scheme, you know this. It's a unique marking scheme. +1 for every correct answer, not +3 like CAT. Then -0.25 if the answer is incorrect, which means not -1/3 but -1/4 of the correct scoring. Unattempted, no negative marking for unattempted questions till 8 questions. 9th question onwards, you have negative marking. We know this, all of these things. No negative marking in GK. GK is not included in the final percentile. I had to quickly give you a snapshot of this so that now I can bring all of you to the same level and now speak about syllabus. Now, this is very important. Please pay attention to this, because now I'm going to show you section wise syllabus, and the words which I have bolded out are the areas which don't come in CAT but come in XAT. So this is extremely important for you. Now you would see this. Reading comprehensions comes in CAT, but vocabulary based questions, analogy based questions, grammar and critical reasoning based questions, even I would say to an extent fill in the blanks, the kind of which they come in XAT, are not the ones which come in CAT. So now you clearly know that, okay, in VALR, what are some of the areas which you need to work on? That's that. In DM, you know it. See, everything. DM is a section which is unique to XAT. The kind of questions which come in DM are data arrangement. You would be given, problems like you have to make business decisions, ethical decisions. You have to choose that, okay, out of the 5 choices which are given in front of you, which one makes more sense? That is that. So DM is extremely important. If you want a separate video on DM, also, no, forget that. If you want a video of me solving a previous year XAT mock blind, let me know in the comments, because when I did that for CAT, a lot of you appreciated that like nobody's business. So that's important. Moving on to QA and DI, that most of the topics which you will be seeing here are similar to CAT, and there are probably one or few things which you probably need to revise or see more, which is surds and everything, but maybe not that important as well. So for QADI, I would primarily say it is pretty much what you've studied for CAT. It would suffice, which now brings a new implication into the game, that if you're weak in quant, But good in VARC, XAT is the exam for you. Why? Because XAT tests you pretty much on the same things in quant, and because VARC is your strength, you can capitalize on that strength and get more marks. And now suddenly, jiski VARC CAT may be weak thi, suddenly when they get introduced to more topics in VARC or VALR, I should say, that is where they start to lose out in XAT. So if you have good strength in VARC, you clearly have an advantage in XAT. There is no doubt in me saying this. I would not mince my words in saying that. Now that we know this, see, again, it is important what to cover, what to be, what is that we should be focusing on, and from where should we do it, and then we come to the how to cover it, how to do that in the 15 days. This is a very important study plan. I'll tell you why, because in this I have segmented the remaining days in 3-day sprints. 3 din ke sprints. My students who have used it in the last few years have loved it. This has given them absolute clarity and everything. That's that. If I come to DM, it's a very simple thing, my dear friends. See, ethics, business circumstances, that what is going to happen, what step should you as the CEO or this person, what you should do, these things, this is best studied from previous year's XAT papers. That's it. And if you go back from as early as 2008 till today, you have more than enough number of sets for you to take or practice DM. इसमें मैं तुम्हें ये कहूँगा नहीं कि buy a course of DM and then try to understand that. इसमें जब मैं study plan पे आऊँगा, मैं एक चीज समझाऊँगा तुम्हें, that what you need to do. What happens in DM in XAT is that once you will be solving previous year questions, and when you'll be seeing अच्छा इसका answer क्या था, अच्छा इसका answer ये था, you will realize one thing, that there is almost a pattern which you can see, that okay, what is the line of thinking which XLRI appreciates, which they want you to take as a ethical stance. And the more number of sets you go through, the quicker you will be able to see कि अच्छा हाँ, XLRI likes a certain kind of stance. And once you observe that, you will be able to navigate through DM very easily. This is a very important thing which I have said. जब आप ज़्यादा DM के questions करना solve करेंगे, आप observe कर लेंगे कि एक certain style of stance of the protagonist XLRI appreciates, and that is why they say that okay, इसका ये answer है सही. Once you catch that okay, what is the line of thought which they appreciate, you will be able to do that. VALR is a very simple thing. You know this. I would want you to focus especially on grammar, critical reasoning, vocabulary, but not focus on it so much that you lose the plot and everything else. Therefore, how much to practice this, I have included in the 15-day study plan. What you must practice, my dear friends, are this thing, poems, because poems come as RCs in XAT. How do you practice it? Obviously from PYQs. See, I have kept my study plans very simple. Even if you've been following me for CAT, you know it. I don't advise you fancy things that buy this, buy that. No, it's a very simple, straightforward thing. Previous year questions. Best preparation strategy. For somebody who was weak in quant, I used previous year questions, navigated through it. तो उससे ज़्यादा तो कुछ हो नहीं सकता. My students, they actually swear by it. If you read my comments on the videos, they say that, you know what, yes, I used this worked. I didn't use it and I regret it. ऐसे भी comments. They come back after CAT and the exams and they say that I missed it. That's that. So the point which I'm trying to make is that this is something which you need to keep in mind, that previous year questions are goldmine for any exam ever. That's that. QA/DI, very simple thing. Yeah, you need to focus on DI. I would specially encourage you to focus on DI because in XAT DI will be more calculation intensive. तो अगर वो अपने अच्छे खासे 10, 20, 30 सेट प्रैक्टिस नहीं करे हुए हैं before XAT, you will feel very suffocated, very hard to calculate it suddenly. वो एक चीज है which you should do. Otherwise, as I had said, arithmetic, algebra and geometry are pretty similar to what they come in your CAT. I would not create फालतू का this thing कि उसमें थोड़ा ऐसा मुश्किल है, हल्का है, नहीं है, similar. अगर उतना, if you have the basic concepts of arithmetic, algebra and geometry, you'll be able to do it well. One thing I would actually suggest is that here I had said that okay, go back to XAT papers of as early as 2008. इधर मैं कहूँगा keep your quant prep between 2018 to your 2025, because that is when the level of the paper of quant is pretty similar to what you would expect now. So for quant, I would suggest stick to your 2018 to 25 जो भी हुए थे पेपर. And obviously CAT के लिए तो जो preparation करी हुई है, उसके लिए जो भी use कर रहा है, वो सब तो काम आएगा ही. That is extremely important. And GK यार, I'll tell you very simple thing. Study awards, study organizations means what? कि यार इस organization का he's the head, he's the CEO. And when I'm saying organizations, I'm also talking about nations. Who's the प्रेसिडेंट, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट, प्राइम मिनिस्टर, ये सब चीजें इकोनॉमी के बारे में, हाउ मच वाज द CRR, SLR, ऑल ऑफ दोस थिंग्स, ऑल ऑफ दीस थिंग्स, गिव इट हाफ एन आवर अ डे, इट्स अ वेरी सिंपल थिंग, इसमें कुछ नहीं है. GK doesn't give you your percentile, but it is extremely important for your interviews. It gives you confidence. If you have not started to prepare for your MBA admission interviews, and I have to say this right now, I have to say this because this is important. Immediately after this, we'll go to the study plan. My dear friends, if you have not started to prep for your MBA interviews, I will be making videos on interview prep. That is one. Watch those videos. Let me know in the comment if you want those videos. Second thing, I will give you free advice right away. Right away, free advice. Please work on your confidence. And confidence means working on these kind of questions like why do you want to do MBA? What do you want to do after MBA? And knowing some bit of your GK as well. Preparing for interview, अगर मैं मूल मंत्र कह दूं उसका तो वो ये है कि you are preparing to improve your confidence, because the moment you walk into the room, it is your confidence which speaks. I am also coming up with a finishing interview program. It's like it is like a top layer where I work on your confidence. So you might be enrolled anywhere in any coaching institute. Go for it. I will work on your confidence part of it, because that is where I lacked when I was an MBA aspirant. And now in the last 2 years, I've helped students build their stories, work on their confidence, and do mock interviews. So let me know if you want to enroll in my program as well. It is an additional program on top of whatever you are doing for yourself. That is important. And one more thing, there is a free group which I run, in which I help students with voice notes. I solve their problems, answer to them. Other friends of yours who will be answering your questions, do join that. You need all the help you want. You have to help, you have to get all the need you can have access to. This is a crucial phase. Now let me come to, my dear friends, what is the 15-day study plan, because this is where it is important, and this is the beauty of the plan. This right here is the beauty of the plan, that my dear friends, I have divided it into 3-day sprints, and that is how you need to look at it, वरना तुम खो जाओगे. Suddenly by the end of this plan you would realize that okay, probably 15 days is all it takes to crack XAT. And my dear friends, that is true. I'm making a bold statement, but if you've prepared even averagely for CAT, and अगर तुम 80s में भी CAT में चल रहे हो, and I can say this because I have done that, so I'm not making a sensational statement. Something happened on my screen, I believe. Anyways, I'm not making a sensational statement. If you have 15 days, if you follow 3-day sprints, this is very unique to what I teach my students. Very simple and very clinical. This is what you've got to do. See, as simple as that. You're watching this video on a 20th of December. My dear friends, keep it very simple. Start off with DM section, because that is something which is unique to XAT और तुमने पहले कभी नहीं कहा. Finish the things which are unique to XAT first. तुम जब देखोगे एंड तक, मेरा एक प्रिंसिपल समझ में आएगा. Finish the things unique to XAT. In the next 3 days, 20, 21st and 22nd, be sure to take one XAT mock. Maybe today, if you're starting your prep, today take a XAT mock, or if you've been appearing for it, then take a XAT mock in these next 3 days. That's that. And do the analysis of it. I can't harp enough on this. And practice DM sets. Be observant of what? I've said this to you already. Be observant, okay, what are the kind of answers which are right, which XLRI says is right. Be observant of that fact. That's that. Between 23rd and 25th, again 3 days, 23rd, 24th and 25th. Again, take one mock, one this thing analysis, and continue to practice your DM. Between these 6 days, from 20th to 25th, complete your DM. All the 40-50 sets which you have to practice, which you have to expose yourself to, complete it in 6 days. So if you see these 6 days, you're giving it to DM, full practice of DM, and 2 mock tests with full analysis. Mock test is very important. यार mock test क्यों important है? एक और चीज, XAT is about your attempt strategy. It is not so much about your knowledge and the application of knowledge, but also how you manage your time. That was not the problem you had in CAT. CAT had 40-minute के slots. XAT में नहीं है वो. Therefore, my video on attempt strategy for XAT becomes so much more important. It is very different than what other stuff you are watching all around YouTube and Instagram on attempt strategy, because थोड़ा generic बातें हैं, but चलो खैर ठीक है, वो अभी नहीं है इतना important. Now, in these 6 days, you would have finished your DM. More than enough. Then we go full throttle. 26th December to 28th, now you're attempting more XAT mocks, because you are practicing your time division. कि मुझे QADI को कितना समय देना है, VALR को कितना समय देना है, DM को कितना समय देना है. That is where you're taking now more mocks, and now you're revising your VALR topics that are unique to XAT. I've already informed you which ones: grammar, critical reasoning, fill in the blanks, all of those kind of questions unique to XAT. But now you are taking 2 mocks, because see, again, you have to understand this. All of your practice is going to happen through mocks here. As simple does that. All of your practice is going to happen through mocks. Be it QADI, this and that, because solving questions in isolation without having the constraint of time and having the knowledge and the sensibility of when to leave a section, when to switch to the next section is pointless. You can't win in XAT without all of that. I think one reasons why I scored so much in XAT as compared to what I scored in CAT was because I had the sensibility of time कि कितनी है. तो XAT तो वो टेस्ट करता है तुम्हारा. तो ये है. Then 29 to साल के एंड तक 31 तारीख तक again 2 mocks and revise your quant के सब चीजें. If you are seeing this, you are giving VALR undivided 3-day attention, and 3 days more than enough for you to revise VALR and to learn more things. And from where? Again, previous year questions is one. That's one. Secondly, watch YouTube videos on this. There are so many good educators who have created marathon videos on these topics. अच्छे channels हैं, देखिए, कोई सा भी देख लीजिए. मैं तो ये भी नहीं कहूंगा कि वही अच्छा है वो खराब है. Everyone who's creating academic things. एक तो होता है कि ये वाले वीडियोस, ये वाले वीडियोस है कि स्ट्रैटेजी, उसमें तो मतलब गंद संद भरा हुआ है. लिटरली मैं बोलूंगा, मुझे कहना नहीं चाहिए बिकॉज मैं खुद इस चीज में हूं, बट स्ट्रैटेजी और ये सब जहां पे ज्ञान देना होता है ना, वो तो कुछ नहीं होता. मतलब कैमरा स्टार्ट करा, सामने बैठ गया, यू हैव टू स्टार्टेड, आई मीन यू हैव स्टार्टेड लाइक स्पीकिंग, एंड अ लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स हैव स्टार्टेड टू डू दैट, एंड एक्स स्टूडेंट्स ऑन ऑल दिस थिंग्स. तो स्ट्रैटेजी में तो क्रैप है, बहुत बहुत सारा क्रैप है. अकेडमिक वीडियोज में जो उतर रहा है ना, उस भाई वो कुछ है. एंड देन ऑब्वियसली यू हैव टू सी कि किसका अकेडमिक स्टाइल आपको समझ में आता है ज्यादा. इसमें ये नहीं कि वो खराब है वो अच्छा है. तो वो तो ये सी अगेन आई एम वेरी extremely honest about these things. Moving back to this, now you are seeing 3 days you had to revise your VALR, 3 days you had to revise for quant. If you have to take ideally यहाँ पे तुम्हारे ऑफिस की भी छुट्टी होगी, नहीं होगी तो ले लेना भाई प्लीज, ये जरूरी है. Then you keep 1st Jan to 3rd Jan, last 3 days to revise all bookmarked questions. जब आप ये सब कर रहे होंगे, कुछ अगर यूनिक मुश्किल किस्म के सवाल होंगे, बुक मार्क कर लीजिएगा, उनको अब रिवाइज करिए. बेसिकली यार ये लास्ट 3 days मैंने आपको ये दिए हैं कि यहाँ पे जो भी रह गया होगा ना, उसको आप यहाँ पे प्रैक्टिस कर लेना. एंड 4th Jan is your XAT day. How do you adapt this now? Suppose you are saying I am weak in quant. One thing I would do in this is that I would take quant from here to here, and I will take VALR from here to here. I would do this. अगर मैं क्वांट में हूं वीक, एंड मैं इधर भी लास्ट में भी मैं क्वांट के रिवीजन में टाइम दूंगा. सीधी सी बात है. इफ आई एम वीक इन VARC, आई वुड डू दिस वन वेरी सिंपल थिंग. आई वुड ब्रिंग बैक VALR हियर, आई वुड ब्रिंग माई क्वांट हियर, बिकॉज अगेन आई वुड नॉट से कि क्वांट को तुम यहां ले जाओ, वो नहीं है. तो मैं थोड़ा रिविजन करना है. हाँ, अगर एक्सेप्शनली अच्छे हो, इफ यू आर एक्सेप्शनली ग्रेट इन क्वांट, यू माइट इवन वांट टू चूज टू ब्रिंग दिस ओवर हियर एंड add VALR again over here, but I would not actually advise that. That is how you can completely adapt this. Mock taking, if you see, this is the beauty of when I give a study plan. I'll show you what the beauty is. In the 15 days also, you have accommodated 8 mock tests. 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6, 7, 8. 8 mocks over, which is what I had also shared on my group. If you are in a part of my free group, then you know it. Also, if you are following me on Instagram, you know it. I have shared it already. कि 8 to 10 mocks is a good number of mocks which you should take. और वो मैंने 15 days में भी बड़ा ब्यूटीफुली उसको अकोमोडेट कर दिया. माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, माय ऑब्जेक्टिव वाज वेरी सिंपल. XAT इज नाउ योर मेन एग्जाम. अब ठीक है, स्नैप दे दिया होगा, सब कर लिया होगा. XAT बहुत मेन एग्जाम. XAT opens up real opportunities for you. XLRI, XIMB, and a lot of these institutes. That's that. If you are preparing for your MBA admission interviews, my dear friends, you have to also understand this, that there is a pre-MBA program which I have made. It's called How to Be School. It's no joke. You need this program. I'll tell you why. Because in this program, I'm giving you a snapshot of what happens inside MBA. Not just that. If you see this one very interesting thing, I have programs called MBA Specialization Selector. Extremely important for your MBA admission interviews. Why? You need to know whether I'm going for finance or marketing or sales or what. Consulting maybe. I don't know. And for you to be able to prepare for your interviews as per that, extremely important. Moreover, there is a sub course called MBA Concept Crashes. All the first year के basics of finance, operations, marketing, ये सब जो कि पढ़ाएंगे MBA में, वो आप already पढ़ लोगे. Again, what am I working on here? I am working on your confidence. That if you know these things, if you have clarity of what you are supposed to do, you are walking into our MBA admission interviews with confidence. Please enroll for this. ये तुम्हारे लिए ही मैंने create करा है. कुछ there is a reason why I've created it. My dear friends, that's all what I had for you. Next video, most likely, if you want it, is going to be XAT attempt strategy. Also, maybe if you want me to attempt XAT mocks, I'll do that for you. Thanks a lot and goodbye.